We have an NHL trade to discuss tonight. The Penguins have traded Lars Eller back to his old club, the Washington Capitals. We'll discuss the trade and what it could mean for both clubs coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have an NHL trade this evening. Of course, I put out a video earlier tonight indicating that the Pittsburgh Penguins were very much open for business. We could see some different moves coming to shake things up after a very poor start to the season. Basically, reports had indicated that if your name's not Sidney Crosby, you're probably available for trade, depending on what the Penguins can discuss and negotiate. So certainly expected some moves. Didn't think they would come quite so quickly, but Lars Eller in his contract, which he's making $2.45 million, has been traded to the Washington Capitals. In return, the Pittsburgh Penguins get a third and fifth rounder. So a couple of draft picks coming back for Lars Eller's acquisition here. Of course, Washington, a team he played for in the past, won a Stanley Cup with in the past. The Capitals are off to a much better start to the season, so they get a player who they're familiar with, who knows a lot of the older veteran players there, who he's played with before, and somebody who can make the team even deeper and stronger down the middle. So, I mean, Lars Eller is a really good third-line player, lots of experience, over 1,000 games played, lots to like about his game. So, certainly in Washington, of course, they had lost Nicholas Backstrom to injury. Kuznetsov had moved on recently. So, I mean, down the middle, they are deeper now because, of course, they picked up Dubois in the offseason. Obviously, they even have a guy like Connor McMichael, who's naturally a center, playing a lot on the wing, and he's doing really well to start the season as well. He's been a big part of their offense there. Always going strong. Dylan Strome, of course, playing top line minutes with him. Obviously, this just makes their center core a little deeper. I think a guy like Hendrix Lapierre has probably been one of the guys that have struggled a bit. So it kind of adds another veteran into the mix to take the pressure off maybe some of the younger players. So at the end of the day, the Capitals have had a good start, and they're being rewarded by adding another veteran player into the mix that their team and GM is very familiar with. And then, of course, like I said, in Pittsburgh, they've now got some extra cap space. They go from less than $2 million in cap space to over $4 million in available space. So you have to think Kyle Dubas is cooking something up, right? I mean, because we know that, from everything we've heard, that ownership and Dubas made a promise to Crosby that as long as he's playing before he signed that extension this summer, that they weren't going to go into a rebuild mode. So if they're not going into rebuild, that tells us that most deals for Pittsburgh that we'd expect would be money in, money out. So to me, they must have targeted something else that they want to bring in, and we'll see now if that next move follows and kind of keeps us wondering what's going to happen here. So to me, I think Dubas is up to something. This opens doors on the roster, and it creates money to make another move. I'll be curious to see exactly what they might have in mind. So clearly, the Penguins off to a rough start, starting to make some changes here. I wonder if there's going to be a possibility of a coaching change. I know Mike Sullivan's well-liked by ownership there at Fenway. I know we've heard Dubas, in the past at least, kind of, express how much he likes Sullivan and how, such a good fit there for so long. But it's been a long time. Is it time for a new voice? You have to wonder. All coaches have an expiration date, and has he reached his? So we'll see what else the Penguins and Kyle Dubas do. But for now, we have ourselves a trade involving Lars Eller to the Washington Capitals. Let me know your thoughts on the deal down in the comments, and we'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, of course, make sure you subscribe and stick around. This is a great place to get all your updates around the entire league of all your NHL news and rumors. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.